Well, welcome back to the Cozy Cottage Homestead. Today we're going to be cooking a yummy meal with using some of our herbs. This is rosemary, fresh homegrown rosemary. This is mother of thyme. It's already started dehydrating. I think I accidentally mixed in my herb, the Italian oregano, so I couldn't tell what was what. But this is the Italian oregano. And right here, same thing, we have some sweet basil that's already been drying out some. And then we have some of the famous purple basil. The stuff that grew wild last year. It did not grow quite as well this year, but we still have some growing that came back from last year. So all I'm going to simply do is use a little bit of these herbs. We don't really need a lot of rosemary. I know lots of people are interested in what we do with these herbs. Most oftentimes I do use them to cook with. But as y'all know, I like to drink herbal tea. Not so much in the summer months, but definitely during the winter. I have, however, tried a new lemon balm tea. That was a cold tea from another channel. I'm going to do a shout out on her too pretty soon. But today we're going to do a video on cooking a meal with herbs, and I think that is plenty of rosemary. And I'm going to probably use most of this oregano because this is going to be an Italian dish, a great summertime dish, and you'll have to just watch and follow along. I don't really have a recipe for it. It's just one of those things, putting stuff together that goes together, tastes wonderful together. Which is great, because my son's always saying, Mama, you always make this wonderful food and then you don't know what you put in it and then I can't make it. Well, now he can just watch the video too and pause it and see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Which my husband gets aggravated with that too, because he even watches me and then he'll do something for me and then he's like, wait, what did I miss? What did you just do? So it's not done intentional. It's sometimes hard for me to remember what I've done, what I used. But I try to share what I do just so other people can learn how to make some good yummy food for their family. So this one's just gonna start out as a kind of tag along with me. Then we'll move right along to our main meal here in a few minutes. Just gonna put all that into the bowl. Now we're gonna do some of our lavender basil. This is also wonderful in herbal teas. We're not gonna use a lot of it. And yes, I have one of those little leaf strippers for your herbs, but of course I didn't pull it out. So that's fine. So we're only going to use one of those. The sweet basil, we're going to use a little more of it. And I also chopped up about, I don't know, pretty much the whole garlic pod. It was pretty small, kind of like this one. So we like a lot of garlic, so we did put a good bit of garlic. It's all just rough chopped as well into the bowl with the other herbs. It was not homegrown, but it's fresh. And then we have some homegrown parsley. And I'm just going to chop it up and throw it in there with the rest of our spices. I'm not going to use all of the stems on the end, but I'm going to chop up the stems and leave the leaves on the stems because we like it. and just give it a rough chop too. Now I think we have all of our herbs, our green stuff, our vegetables for this dish. Like I said, this is a video that's not pre-planned or everything's just laid out. You're going to just see me grabbing stuff and doing stuff as I go along, which is kind of hard to follow me that way, but that's kind of how I operate. Just so y'all can see how hard I really am trying to make some good videos for y'all, because it's not always easy for me to remember to slow down and let everybody know what I'm doing as I'm moving along. So this is all of our spices and our herbs. We had like, I don't know, what, four or five different types of herbs in there. So it's going to be delicious, and I'm going to move the camera around and bring y'all right along with me. So this is going to be an Italian herb spaghetti. So this is spaghetti. We're going to wait for our water to start boiling. I got the kettle going every single day. On the homestead, we have got to make some sweet tea. We drink a good bit of sweet tea, usually with our meals, but if we're out working, we come in from outside, we want a big old glass of sweet tea. Yes, I'm giving my eyes a break today. I do wear glasses. In between wearing my contacts for a month, I usually take them out for like a couple of days, let my eyes rest. So anyway, let's move right along, and you're just going to see me getting stuff out my cabinets and digging stuff out that I need. I'm just going to let it roll. It'll help my channel with the watch hours. I could definitely use more watch hours, so I appreciate y'all that are watching all the way through. Nothing fancy here, just very simple, just sharing some stuff that I regularly do. Every single day somebody has to cook supper, and that person's usually me, unless I'm just really not feeling good. And then sometimes there's leftovers or something pre-cooked that we can pull out the freezer. So anyway, I need to get me a skillet, and we'll go ahead. I have some, I'll bring it closer so y'all can see it. It was on sale, saved $1.06. Ooh, not a very big saving, but hey, it was a savings. This is hot Italian sausage. So I'm just going to take it out of the casing and then brown it. And I'll bring y'all a little closer in a little while so y'all can see what that looks like. Very simple though. I mean, it's not nothing fancy going on here that you're going to miss. I will grab my cut board from my herbs. And I think we will put just a little bit of oil in our skillet here to brown our sausage a little bit. And yes, I use the same little knife for just about everything around here. If the casing is soft when I cut it, I'll probably leave it on, and it seemed to be pretty soft that time. Okay, so we have our sausage browned. Bring it closer so y'all can see it. Our pasta is going. The water finally started boiling. We'll give it a stir, check on it. I do break my pasta in half. I guess it's just a habit. with years and years of being a foster mom, it was just easier to go ahead and break it in half, and then we still ended up having to cut it for the kids to eat it, or they would just suck it down and slurp it. I know, that was the fun of it, but my father was around then, and he didn't allow it, so he was a little stricter than I was. But you know what? Those kids had a great time while they were here, and they learned a lot of stuff, and I've had nothing but great reports from them. A few of them we've kept in contact with. The parents couldn't have been more appreciative and thankful that their children were in a wonderful country home that had supper every night, someone to give them a little kiss on their forehead, say nighttime prayers with them, and read them a bedtime story. Those were really some great memories. It was a journey. There were difficult days, but it was amazing. So let me dig out another pot. Always fun digging down low. And I'm going to get a bigger pot because I like to, on this dish I'm going to mix the pasta into the sauce. And it looks like I'm going to have to move y'all just a little bit closer so y'all can see inside this pot. Alright, let's see if I can do this without knocking over my camera. I tried it at a different angle so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing. Our pasta is finished. I'll drain it later. Go ahead and give it a stir. Frugal tip: when you cook your pasta, cook it till it's almost done, and then save your gas or your energy and let it sit there for about 10 minutes and it will finish cooking. So what we're going to do with this recipe is we're going to get a 1 cup measuring cup. I'm literally going to just dip it into my pasta, and I'm going to try to get 1 cup of pasta water, put it in a large Dutch oven. Some people call them Dutch ovens. I don't know. Whatever your largest oven is. See, there you go. Whatever your largest dish is, your pot, a decent size. I don't know. I guess it's like a 12-quart pot. Okay. So we got our pasta water in there. Go ahead and turn my heat on medium. And all of these beautiful herbs, we're going to just put those right in the pot and let them simmer a little bit so that all the flavors mix together and blend together. I wish y'all could smell all these herbs. It smells so wonderful. And now all I'm going to do is let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Okay, we're going to add some salt, however much you like. I don't measure, just going to add some salt. We're going to add some pepper. And let's see, what herb did I not put in it? I could have put some fresh green onions. I did not grab those. But I have some dehydrated onions, green onions right here. So we're going to sprinkle a little bit of that in there. It comes out slow, so take about 3 of them. Turn our temperature down just a little bit. And I did reserve 1 more half cup of the pasta water in case I needed it later. I have about a half of a container. This is a 15 ounce. Did I say 15 ounce? Looks like 15 ounce. Of ricotta cheese. This is what I had left, so this is what I'm going to use. And I think I will save this little container. We're going to give that a stir. We're going to add just a little bit of the extra virgin olive oil. We're going to add probably about 1/4 of a cup of Italian dressing. Okay, and we're going to give that a stir. And the pasta water will help thicken it because of the starch that's in it. Instead of using some kind of thickener, the pasta water will thicken it. So there's y'all another frugal tip. Guess I'm just full of them. Gonna let that simmer. We're gonna add some Parmesan cheese. I don't know how much, just whatever looks right. That's probably about 1/4 of a cup of that as well. Give that a stir. It's looking delicious. Had a couple of chunks in that parsley. I gotta break that up. Wish the heat will probably get to it pretty quick. Oh, it's smelling delicious, y'all. I think maybe an Olive Garden or something like that probably make something similar to this sauce, but not with all the other ingredients that I add to it. So, just something that I've learned to do on my own. Tastes really great, and the sauce is getting really thick. That's what we want. It's getting nice and bubbly. Put our lid back on our pasta so when we get ready to drain it, it will be good and hot still. Getting really nice and thick, y'all. Well, I guess y'all can see it. I don't know. See if we can zoom it in a little bit further. Oh, that does pretty good. Let it get back bubbly one more time. And I apologize, my driveway alarm is probably fixing to go off. My husband's fixing to be coming in. So you're probably going to hear the dogs getting excited. So we have some of our, let's find the camera here, our Italian sausage all browned up. Go ahead and put that right in. We're going to give this a nice stir. And the colors are just beautiful all together. And I'm going to let this sauce to this point. I think that's all I need to add. I'll wait until it simmers for about 10 more minutes. Then we have those tomatoes. I think it's probably about 4 to 6 cups of chopped tomatoes. They're not chopped tiny. I mean, they're a decent chop. Homegrown tomatoes. We're going to add those in towards the very end because we want them to still have that fresh taste. We don't really want them to be like cooked tomatoes. We're just going to like toss it in at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and let this simmer down for about 10 minutes. See if I can beat that driveway alarm from going off. And after it simmers for about another 10 minutes, I'll drain my pasta and bring y'all back and show you what it looks like. Alright, so our sauce is finished. We're going to dump our pasta in it. And if you would try to fish out the bay leaves, just because nobody wants to eat on a bay leaf. And if you don't, in our family we say if you find the bay leaf, that means you get to wash dishes. So you might want to leave one in there anyway, just in case somebody else can wash dishes. So we're just going to mix this up with our sauce. Yeah, y'all are still zoomed in pretty good, I think. Yep. Let me get my other spoon out and give this a good toss. Make sure we get all that sauce mixed in. It's looking really delicious. How good that looks, y'all. It's great for summertime. It's light. It's not one of those heavy meals. Easy to throw together really fast. And you also could use shrimp in this dish if you wanted to. And now the very last thing that we have to do is toss our fresh tomatoes in there. And we're just going to toss those in and stir those in as well. Now we're talking. That looks lovely. Our Italian herb spaghetti. Our fire has already been turned off. I'm just going to let this sit and marinate together for a few minutes before we eat our supper. Now it is time for a little taste test. Let's see if my husband approves of this Italian herb spaghetti. Let's see if he enjoys it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good?
That's really good.
Better than Olive Garden?
Yeah.
Not that we've ever even been to Olive Garden. I don't think we've ever been to Olive Garden together. I went years ago with my son. I know him and his wife enjoys it. Well, anyway, thank y'all for hanging out with me today while I made this amazing Italian herb spaghetti dish. Farewell, Homestead family, friends, and neighbors from the Cozy Cottage Homestead.